Good morning. Well, what I'm doing today is a little bit of maintenance on the place. This ain't got nothing to do with bees. Well, I'm gonna mention them. Anyway, what we got going on here is I'm trimming up some trees along the driveway. We had the power line cleaning crew or whatever. They came through and cut a bunch of limbs down, and we've been meaning to cut the limbs down on the side of the driveway. Our pole saw that we had, our steel pole saw, is not running right. It's been kind of, it's been not on its last leg, but it ain't been running out for a while. So I love my Ryobi tools, and I've got a bunch of the 18 volt 1 plus tools, and so we went and I got a Ryobi 18 volt pole saw. Hopefully, I mean, and I figured, you know, bees don't like combustion engines, so if I end up having to cut a limb down to get some bees, I don't want to use that gas powered pole saw, because I don't want to rile them up any more than I have to. So I figured this little electric deal would be perfect. Anyway, so I'm gonna start using it here in a minute. One thing I don't like about it to start off with, I'm gonna give you a little thing. When they the bar and chain oil fill right here, if you can see it right there, it's got I don't know if you can see that or not. It's got like a sponge down in there. I'm not even sure what that's for. Maybe it's just to keep it from sloshing around or to keep it from coming out too fast or whatever. But that little sponge makes it a pain in the rear end to fill the bar oil with. You put like a teaspoon in there, and then you have to wait for the air bubble to come out of it, and you can put a little bit more in there. I mean, I don't know. I just put regular bar oil in there. I don't know if they want you to put like a 30 weight oil or something like that in there. But if you put regular bar oil in there, it's liable to take me 30 minutes just to fill up this little reservoir here. Anyway, I'll kind of give you my review, my full review on this thing when I get done with it. Now, I'm not sponsored at all. I bought this with our own money. So any opinions are going to be unclouded. So I will get back to you later. Okay, I'm back. I tell you, first impressions of the Ryobi 18 volt pole saw. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's it got plenty of power. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, the motor for the that turns the saw blade and everything is here on the end. Most of the pole saws, like the gas ones, the motor is down here in the end, and it has a shaft that turns all the way up the sections of the pole, and then it just turns with some gears up here. Well, this really, the only thing that this is a switch down here. It has a safety, and it's not a big deal as far as the safety. Mostly safeties kind of get on my nerves, but with that, you've got to have a grip on it anyway, so it's not a big deal. The battery snaps in here, but this is probably 80% of the weight up here between the oil reservoir and the motor that actually turns it. The sections of the pole have contacts in it, and you can see how they only go in one way. The way that's shaped, it only goes in one way. So that's not a big deal, but the way that the poles are connected is with this right here, and it's strong enough. The only thing is you can see the end of this pole. It goes to right there, this right here. I think if it was a little deeper, if it connected a little deeper, maybe another inch, you wouldn't get as much flex, because you get a lot of flex in that while you're trying to cut. I mean, this thing will, if you have the extension on it, and you know, it'll flex probably 6 inches or more while you're cutting. I didn't do a lot of pulling with the little hook there. So, you know, I was pretty easy on it. I mean, it was nothing but some easy cutting. You really don't have to use much force on it because of the weight being right here, all the weight there. You just pretty much put the bar on top of what you're cutting, and it'll do the cutting for you. It had plenty of power, never bogged down on me. It didn't really get pinched too many times. This is an 8-inch bar, so I was cutting limbs. I cut a couple of limbs that were 6 inches or better. I mean, it was cutting, and like I said, all I had to do is put the bar up on top of it and pull the trigger, and it just slowly chewed its way through it. The saw blade is really sharp for now. Like I said, this is the first time I've used it, so but for now it's sharp. What I ended up doing, filling up the reservoir here, is I would pour a little bit of oil in there and use my saw blade file or my chainsaw file to tap the little thing that's in the reservoir, and the little air bubbles would come out. So that way it only took me a couple minutes to fill it up, not like it was before. Another thing I would like to change is the blade the chain came off one time, and I just didn't keep an eye on it, and it got kind of loose. But this is the little wrench that comes with it. This is not your standard chainsaw size. So, and then you know, you got your little screwdriver here to tighten the blade on the other side. You loosen this up, and then you turn it over and you tighten it up with this on this screw here. But I mean, there should be a place to stow this on the thing itself. I mean, what are the odds that I'm going to keep up with that? I'll lose that in no time. So, I mean, just, you know, put it somewhere where it can be stowed. You know, make a little slot somewhere where it can be stowed. And if I'm missing it, somebody let me know. But I can't find any place where it can be stowed on here. But really, that's about the only thing I'd change on it. It's as far as being comfortable, it's really, really end heavy. The handle was fine. The strap, I didn't really even use that because it's so end heavy that I pretty much had to hold on above where their little handle is here. I had to hold on to it up above, you know, up here on the other pole. So, but anyway, it did a good job. It's real quiet. As far as using it for maybe cutting a limb you need, if you have a swarm up on a limb, shouldn't be a problem. The only you know, vibration you would have would be the actual saw blade cutting through the limb, because this thing runs really quiet. And, you know, bees don't like combustion engines, so this would be a really good addition if you do a lot of swarm captures. I had 4 batteries ready to go. I had 2 3-amp-hour batteries and 1 2 3s and 2 4s. And I only went through, I used the first one of 3. I completely drained it and just started on the second one. Used it about an hour, so it did a good job. Anyway, if you have any questions, email me. I'll talk to you later.